In the first half of the 20th century, it was assumed that effective leaders all possessed the same personality traits. So it follows that you can identify people with those traits and promote them into leaders. This yielded the trait theory of leadership, as people searched for the traits by assessing personalities of various effective leaders. These are some of the traits that Ralph Stogdill complied. Focusing on completing the task, persists in pursuing the goal, is self-confident, is able to influence others' behavior, and is willing to admit any possible consequences. This whole concept of a leader possessing a certain set of traits was criticized for vagueness and due to the poor fact that the traits were inconsistent in the studies conducted, with every study bringing in new leader personality traits. New traits kept surfacing as a wider variety of settings was introduced for the studies. Furthermore, the traits could not be used for recruitment purposes, because it was unclear how many of them the candidate needed to match in order to be classified as a natural leader. Some studies showed that there are effective leaders who only possess one of the traits. So the trait approach was abandoned, but the general concept remained that leaders need to be intelligent, verbally competent, persistent, likable, sociable, have initiative, etc. And just to add on, one other trait that seems to be crucial is gender. Most leaders, at that time almost all of them, were male. As people realized it really is impossible to define a set of essential skills one must possess in order to succeed as a leader, they focused more on training and leader development instead. Through this, they realized that context plays a role too. Now the idea surfaced that leaders must examine their environment and from it devise the optimal leadership style, hence the contingency theory of leadership. And from this, Fiedler developed three sets of factors: extent of leaders' power, nature of leader to follower relationship, and extent to which task is structured. Fiedler suggested that when a leader's bond to followers is very strong, then those leaders who exert influence through relationships will do better, while when criteria for success is unclear, then leaders who are task-orientated will inevitably do better because they will reduce uncertainty and restructure the situation. Hersey and Blanchard took this further to say that leaders can adopt their styles to fit the situation. This is the situational leadership theory. They suggest two aspects of leadership that the leader can control: task behavior and supportive behavior, where task behavior varies in between delegation and specific instructions, and supportive behavior varies in between facilitating to no communication. These are like spectra, so they're somewhere in between there. Criticism of the contingency theory. How are leaders able to recognize the context when the variables in the theories are so vague? How can leaders adapt their style to fit the diagnosed context? Is personality flexible and can the leader willingly change it? From this, it might follow that the best leaders are the ones who are adjustable and highly aware of the circumstances, which might suggest further desirable traits in trait theory of leadership. A transformational leader is one who inspires others to perform and motivates them to give more than what has been agreed on the contract, all so as to improve organizational performance. Transformational leaders will stimulate intellect, develop thinking of others by encouraging new perspectives, motivate employees to put their interests after those of the organization, and make the organization's vision clear to everyone. Some general behaviors of transformational leaders were identified by Metcalfe following a series of questionnaires. Empower, inspire appear to show genuine concern, encourage change sensitively, act decisively as well as transparently, show integrity, display ability to resolve complex issues, create a shared vision, and achieve set targets.